Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now, before we get into it, if you enjoy it, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the algorithm. But today we're going to talk about Cade Cunningham. Now, it's no secret that Cade Cunningham is a good basketball player, but what he would do for this Houston Rockets team, it's honestly truly incredible. I feel like Cade is similar to Luka. This guy has the potential to just, he could just do so many things. He could break so many records. He could just do so much for Houston in the post-James Harden era, help create a new culture, a new identity for this team, help bring in some free agents. I mean, Cade Cunningham would just change the trajectory of the Houston Rockets. He would speed up this rebuilding process essentially to just not happening. Like, it would literally, we're looking at a possible 2-3 year rebuild, depending on where this pick falls. If it falls outside of the 4, I mean, the Houston Rockets, unless they get some great draft picks, some good free agent signings, you're looking at least 2 years. So Cade Cunningham would help speed up this process unbelievably. The Houston Rockets would all of a sudden become must-watch, and you bet 100% that they would be battling for a playoff spot. And if the play-in tournament is still a thing, you bet 100% they will be in contention for that. Taking a look at Cade Cunningham, first, this dude is 6'8" point guard. It's unbelievable. The amount of things you can do with Cade Cunningham, just the versatility with being 6'8", who shot 40% from 3. 40% from 3 is extremely impressive. First off, the Houston Rockets really need that. But, man, Cade Cunningham can play the 1, he can play the 2, he can play the 3. Personally, I feel like he's really underestimated with just his scoring ability, especially at the 3 spot. I mean, this guy could be the Houston Rockets small forward for the next couple of years. Say John Wall is, back 100%, and although he is owed over $90 million in the next 2 years, I mean, could you just imagine, say, you get John Wall back to his old self, KPJ, you got, Cade Cunningham at the 3 just sounds good. But Cade Cunningham at the 1 sounds even better. I just don't know what to do with this John Wall situation. But then you got Christian Wood at the 4. You got Jayshawn Tate, KJ Martin. Still got to figure out that it's 5 role. I hope it isn't Kelly Olynyk. No disrespect to Kelly, but I just think the Rockets need to get a little bit bigger. But Cade Cunningham in the next 2 years, I definitely think if he were on the Houston Rockets, you would see him playing all 3 positions, just because the Rockets have a whole plethora of guards. I mean, all the ones I mentioned, Eric Gordon, now they got Kyrie Thomas. Can't forget about DJ Augustin as well. So just a whole bunch of guards on this team. But taking a look at Cade Cunningham specifically, his playmaking ability is what really sets him apart. And also, he is excellent in the pick and roll. And that is exactly what Christian Wood could use. I mean, Cade Cunningham and Christian Wood, we already have KPJ and Christian Wood in the pick and roll. John Wall himself's a very good pick and roll player. We just have so many guards who can play the pick and roll perfectly. And then you have Christian Wood, who is turning into a star right before our eyes. I mean, you could argue an all-star appearance this year. I mean, obviously the injuries, all that stuff. But next year, I think Christian Wood becoming an all-star is not far-fetched one bit. In fact, I think I could confidently say I think Christian Wood will be an all-star next season. I mean, he has all the potential. He's on the Houston Rockets team. He's going to get the minutes. A lot of young players. I mean, Christian Wood has the potential in this offseason to legitimately transform himself into a superstar, a legitimate superstar. And Christian Wood's mentality and his work ethic, that is definitely possible. But pick and roll play, Cade is great at the pick and roll. Also, he's just got some very good basketball IQ. He's got some clutch playability. He's also a great leader. I think the biggest weakness for Cade Cunningham, or one of the biggest weaknesses for Cade Cunningham, is his indecisiveness. If he can improve his decision-making, he's literally Luka. So it's crazy how much this guy can help. Like I said earlier in the video, 40% from 3. This man is an incredible three-point shooter. He's got great shot selection potential as well. He really gets to his spots. And then, obviously, being 6'8" with his wingspan, I mean, the defensive potential is there. Another part about his game I really like is in just him in transition. He's got his eyes up. He's unselfish. He just creates a lot of great looks for players. And then also he's a great defender. He's a great rebounder. I mean, 6'8", once again, he can really crash the boards, and that just helps generate easy offense, easy transition buckets. And that's where you really get teams. Like I had mentioned, he's gifted in the pick and roll. He's got great patience and poise, but got to improve the decision-making. But when he does make that pass, he makes a lot of passes, honestly, at the college level that make you really it's kind of, I feel like we've been spoiled with this generation of NBA talent, that when you have guys like this at the college level already doing some of the passes that he's looking at, it's unbelievable. It's LeBron-esque, it's Luka-esque, it's tremendous, and he makes it all look easy. So 3-point shooter. He's also got a floater. Maybe improve his mid-range game, but he's definitely got a mid-range. Could also compare him to Magic Johnson. It's a pretty good comparison right there. He's got some solid post game as well. He can definitely take advantage of some mismatches or some smaller matchups down low, which is really good for the Houston Rockets just moving forward with, I mean, who are you going to put on this man to guard him, especially if the Rockets get a lethal player at the 3 level. I mean, it's going to make this team very much more difficult to guard because you've got a 6'8" superstar at point guard. It's just very similar to Luka. So he's got a bunch more potential as an individual shot creator, especially at the perimeter, but he gets to his spots and he usually makes them. So you got to give him credit there. He's just got massive potential, man. He's just got massive potential. I think Cade could really help take this team to that next level. And I mean, it's when you look at the other players in the draft, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green, I mean, these are great players. Evan Mobley, these are great players, but I just feel like with Cade, you're really looking at, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. I mean, he was projected to go 1 before the season had started. Kind of surprised Oklahoma State didn't go further in the tournament or even just have a better regular season because they've got some hoopers on that team. But Cade Cunningham, man, he was getting doubled. He was getting tripled. They were doing everything they could do to make sure Cade was not in rhythm. And honestly, for the most part, towards the late of the season, Oklahoma State, those players, they just weren't making their shots, and it was kind of a similar situation to the Mavericks right now. If you're doubling and tripling Luka and the guys aren't making their shots, I mean, it makes it a lot more easier for opposing teams to shut you down. So at an NBA level, he'll have much more help. He's got guys like KPJ, John Wall, Christian Wood, guys who can create their own shots as well. I mean, even Jayshawn Tate is great at that. This Houston Rockets team has loads of potential as it is. And I think Cade Cunningham, there's a 14% chance. Houston Rocket fans, I mean, the last time they were in this situation and they got the first pick was 2001 with Yao Ming, and we all know how that went. So I got to say, I think Houston's odds, while they're only 14%, I think you really got to like them, just considering it feels kind of like destiny. It feels kind of like fate. They just had the most dysfunctional season I've seen in a very long time on an NBA level. And it's just crazy, everything that happened, all the storylines, losing Russell Westbrook before the season had started. I mean, it forced his way out. James Harden forces his way out. James Harden kind of has ran this organization since he has been there, and with good reason. He's generational talent. He's one of the best to ever do it, but I hope James can get his ring. But, oh man, Cade Cunningham on this Rockets, James Harden might have done him a huge favor by leaving when he did, and this Rockets team, I mean, if he had stayed any longer, I don't think they would have even been close to anywhere near this first seed, as good as odds as they do, considering they don't have their first pick with full protection. It's top 4 protected. This is a good situation, and I feel really good about it, and I think most of Houston does as well. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys tomorrow.